Hi, I'm Drew Taylor with DEXON USA. I'm here in our demo and training room where we have live video processors running, a small video wall with a camera pointed at it, and we're using it for this training series. Today we're going to be covering the DIMAX-Pro video processor system and getting into window control. So in the last several videos, we've talked about the configuration and setup of this video wall, and now we're going to move on to controlling it. So if you missed the setup, check out the previous videos. Otherwise, we're moving forward with actual control of the wall. So here we are. We've set up a simple 2x2. So I've got 4 monitors, 2 wide, 2 high. On the left, you can see my list of inputs. Like input 1, there's a signal, 1280, 720 coming in. And if I select it and drop it on the wall, you can see a window opens here, and you can also see on the actual wall where we have a camera pointed, that window being opened. Great, so I have a cool feature installed, and it is called, I'll open another window here, we've got a preview output card in this chassis. So what that allows me to do is I can select this little picture icon next to the inputs that I'd like to enable the preview for. So I'm going to work with like the first few inputs here. So now you can see once I've done that in the software, these windows have a preview. And as you can see, once I drop the window on the wall, I can move it around wherever I want, arbitrarily, anywhere I want. This is window 2, so it covers window 1. If I wanted to change the z-index, which I can do, of this window 2, I come over to the upper right and drag window 2. There you go. Now it's underneath of window 1. Pretty cool, huh? Let's see. Let's say I wanted to make window 2. You can come in up here and say align to a screen boundary. So that's going to make it like the full size of one of your outputs. I can come and make it the whole video wall boundary. There you go. And I'll snap to the whole size of the wall. Pretty neat. Let's see here. So what else do we have? So when I drop a new window on, like so, I'll take input 3 and I'll put that one up there. You can see that it fades in. Notice that. Here, let's close this. We'll watch that again. Look up at the camera. I'm going to make this camera full screen, and I'll drop this source in again, the upper right. And boom, you see a nice fade in. And if I remove it, a nice fade out. Great, so I'm going to put that back in there. So what's determining these effects is if I come down in the bottom left here in options and go to window defaults. So this screen pops up and gives me like defaults for when you open or close a window. So you can select size. How large should that window be when you open it? Do you want to keep aspect ratio of the window or not? Various other settings, transition, open, is it like a fade? So you can do fade or cut, right? Same with transition. If you're changing between inputs, it could be maybe half a second instead of a second fade. Opacity, you can adjust opacity, so you can have like 50% opacity on a layer or a window if you want. You can add a frame that's like a border, it's a color border. You can choose the color, whether it's blue, red, green, whatever, and the size of that border as a default. On-screen display, that would put some text over the window, such as like input name, resolution, these kinds of things. Now that's like default settings. So if you wanted to adjust, let's say, I'm going to go to this window. Maybe you wanted to just adjust that single window and not the default for all of them. If I select this window and look at the bottom right, I have different properties. So placement, let's see, the left placement, we're at 3900. What if I change that to 300, for example, and hit tab? Oh, you see that moves all the way to the other side of the screen. So I can manually adjust size and position to get like exact pixel dimensions of a window if I want to. Similar to the defaults, you can choose whether you want to enable or disable keep aspect ratio. You can do cropping. So if keep aspect ratio is enabled, when you crop, the window size will stay the same. You're just going to remove some of the information on the sides, like this window up here. I don't know if it's hard to see. We can make it bigger. Oops. Put it on top too. You can see this one, for some reason this computer is like sending black bars on the left and right of the image. Here, let's you can see that there's like a black border. It's something in Windows that's doing that. So I can crop that out, for example. That would be a useful use of cropping. Useful use. Insertion, let's see, so that's opacity. Let's check this out. That'll be easier to see on this one up here, right? So opacity, let's put it at 50% and look at the wall above me when I click tab. Look at that. Now you can kind of see through it. 25% opacity. I go back to the wall camera here. Look at that. It's kind of funky, right? You can see through the layer. Add an effect. You can see the other window underneath in this view. Okay, going back to the software. Let's see, what else do we have? Effects. This is our transition. Do you want to do a crossfade dissolve between inputs when you change them, or a clean cut? You can add a frame and a border like we talked about. Here, let's see. Let's add a big one. You can see that. You'll be able to see it if it's large, I think. 100 pixel border seems very big when you would never go that large, but hey, why not? And we'll change the color of it and make it let's just do this white. It's probably easier to see. You should be able to see that on the camera there. Nice big white border. And on-screen display. So this is kind of cool. So if you're in a control room or another environment where you'd want to see this type of information, you can have show OSD, and there's different commands or different functions you can show here, or hotkeys, for example, that are in our manual. One of them is input name, right? Maybe you want to show the input name, and you can kind of see. It might be hard in your view, I'm not sure, but in the on the Roku source with the white border, you can kind of see in the upper left there's a little blue square over the white border that has the input name. So if that's useful information in your application to be able to see, you can do that here. So you can see very simple to use. Grab a source, drop it on screen, grab a corner, resize it, move it around. Let's see this. We can make this window 3 the background input now, make it the size of the whole video wall, you name it. So very easy to manipulate live video windows within the video processor section of the DIMAX-Pro. So thanks for watching. Check back into our next videos. We're going to be talking about saving layouts and recalling layouts and scheduling and lots of other cool features that are built into the video processor section of the DIMAX-Pro. So thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, give us a like, give us a share, and if we can help you on your next project with a video processor or seamless matrix, give us a call. Thanks.